I will say this, local gas stations in any jurisdiction have a lot to say on their price. And corporate greed or corporate price raising also has to be factored into this whole inflation piece and the emotional disconnect between it. Because wages, if you look at wages economically, they're up. And if you throw in the pandemic and the money that was poured into the economy, people may be frustrated, but they have more money and these prices are rising and they have a pretty decent outlook towards their future. Not everyone, but most of the polling says they have a decent outlook because they have more money. This isn't the first inflationary period we've lived through, regardless of how old you are. And so this is the first time I believe I felt that emotional disconnect from statistics and then what's really going on at the dinner table. We cannot talk about the border crisis without including Congress, Democrats and Republicans, because there is legislation. You can talk about executive action with Biden.
It's not happening.
It's not happening. But you see that picture, right? And then you see a bipartisan bill that the Republicans have rejected, and I'm not playing the blame game, but it would have allowed the president to shut the border down. It would have made it tightened up asylum, and it also would have increased border patrols, all giving money, if I may. And as a result, and Congress still can't get it done. So I'm not blaming the Democrats or the Republicans. What I'm saying is the Republicans have a bill. I think it's Bill 01 or 02.
HR 2, and I was going to say, and that's...
The NCAA is a 501c3, and Congress has resisted historically over the years, even before Barack Obama, to provide them with that exemption to say what I call the purity test, that these are athletes that choose to go to college, they're students first, but they're students and they're athletes, and they've been exploited over the years. And so now the chickens are coming home to roost in connection to the NCAA. They're being forced with this settlement, but there are tons of other lawsuits out there that could opt out of this settlement.
Even if they
just the beginning.
Yeah, even if this goes forward, it doesn't close their liability going forward.
And there's nothing to save, really. The NCAA as we know it, right? It only has two pieces. It's the basketball and it's the football championship. And it's the only income derived from those two pieces. And so look for the financing on this to change. There are only 5 big conferences with big colleges. And those 5 conferences are the ones that are going to drive all of this. The smaller colleges, medium colleges aren't going to be able to afford to do this. Look for private equity to step in. There are only 3 sports that generate revenues for these colleges, though. It's just basketball and football. You know the third one?
What?
Volleyball. Now women's basketball seems to be changing, but volleyball. Yeah.